Today's gaming spotlight is on
Blastworks. Build, trade, destroy.
Hello YouTube, how the cluck are you? Thank you for joining me for Gaming Spotlight. Today I'd like to look at Blastworks on the Nintendo Wii. This game contains the tagline of Build, Trade, Destroy. Now, if we have a look at the front cover here, we can see that there is a lot going on. We can see it is full of colour, and to be quite frank, it is amazing looking. I was actually really impressed when I found this game. However, I don't think it really gives you a damn insight to what this game is really all about. And in this gaming spotlight, I'm going to tell you the pros and cons about this game. But let's start off with an absolute belter of a pro. For me anyway. Can you tell me the last time that you bought a game, still wrapped in cellophane, at £4.04? Can you? I feel that the answer will be no. However, this is the price I paid from Amazon, all in, at £4.04. That's right, £4.04 for a brand new wrapped in cellophane game. That's a bargain all day long. Welcome to your first screen in the game Blastworks, and welcome to the first negative of this game, although it's not a complete negative. Allow me to explain. As I keep talking, you will notice that the screen you're watching will not change. Now, anyone who's played any game will know that after a little while the title screen will turn into a demo, and that demo I feel is more used to get the player pumped up. It's like, yes, let's play this game to our thumbs bleed. Let's get on it right now. That really doesn't happen for this game. No, unfortunately, what you get is this. And it looks really boring, really bland, and to be honest with you, looks like a child's game. Now, I know I'm not selling the game for you right now, but let me put a different spin on it. If you've ever heard the saying, don't judge a book by its cover, I believe that it is true for this game. The creators of this game, when you start to play it, I feel they grew up playing games that were in the early 90s, and I feel that there is a lot of throwback within this game. So as we proceed on, hopefully you will see what I mean, and you will ignore this title screen in the terms of it being boring as fuck. So, if you go into extras and you are a completionist, this game's got you covered. Here are the different ways that the game can be controlled. I will be using gameplay 2, so pay attention to button number 2. As you can see, you're not restricted to playing the game in just one way. There is an editor section as well, which I will get into a little later on. So, since it's first, let's hit up the campaign mode. As you can see, my toy plane is in the Harrier. The pilot is Chicken. That's me. And let's begin. Right, so, as you see the first bullets fly from my plane, I hope you're feeling what I felt. I felt a bit of a throwback to Defender. But as you can see, there is definitely a different element to this game. As you can see, the plane I've got, as I'm shooting all of these enemies in front of me down, I am able to collect them. Your plane basically acts as Velcro. So as soon as you shot a plane down, you can make it a part of you. And I think this is a really, really interesting mechanic for this game. As you can see, there's so much going on at once when you're basically trying to shoot down all these planes. So much is going on. And it becomes basically like a game of tactics, really, because as you can see, as the planes are shot down, that you're shooting down, they are spinning in the air. And that gives you the time to be able to get them positioned within your plane. If you position them right, then obviously, as you can see with this big one right now, I mean, I haven't got it positioned right and it's shooting upwards. However, I had it positioned right, it wouldn't just be my projectiles heading towards the enemy, it would be an enemy ship heading towards the enemy. And as you can see, there are a lot of different ways that these ships shoot. And I just found this fascinating because it's so simple and yet it's so effective. You know, as you can see, as I'm down in all these planes, you know, I can collect them. They become part of my arsenal. I just think it's really ingenious what they've done. It's a genre that's been done time and time before. But look at this spin. There's so much action on the screen at once, and the whole tagline of build, trade, destroy. Well, you're definitely building within the game. Now, as you have been noticing within my gameplay footage, my ship goes from having all of them on to then just being a ship on its own, as you are seeing right now. Now, this is where the more established player among you would have to have the next level. Now, I, as you can see, am completely and utterly shit at this game. But when it comes to this other part of the game, using that number 2 button, as I said to you earlier when we were looking at the controls, that gives you the ability to shrink your ship. That's the only way I can put it. So everything that you've got, essentially you shrink into your tiny ship. And it allows you to obviously have a more tactical way of playing. Now, as you can see, I'm at the end of the level 1 boss already on the campaign mode. If you notice, in the projectiles from that boss fight were following me. It wasn't like, I don't feel it's got a set pattern. It's definitely got a set pattern of how they leave. You know, it's the same form of bullets that will spray. However, they don't follow the same pattern. They follow you, if that makes sense. Now, as you can see, level 2, there's a lot more going on the screen. It's a lot harder to control. It's a lot harder to see where you're going. Going back to this whole new mechanic of basically having like Velcro on your ship to attract these fallen ships. Again, this is a big positive to the game. Now, it's not just a positive for the fact it's something different. It's a positive for the way that these ships act. Now, I'm not sure whether you're getting the impression as you're watching this, but those fallen ships that you add to your ship essentially become a bit of armor as well as firepower. Now, this becomes, like I say, it's a pro to the game, but it's also a negative to the game. And the reason it's a negative to the game is because the hit detection isn't always accurate. So my impression from what I've played so far, as you can see, it's gone absolutely mental on the screen right now. It is crazy fun. Again, that's a big positive. But just going back to the negative, is that if the projectiles from your enemy manage to get through your big protective shield, you will die. Now, I don't feel that the hit detection is quite there for that. See, I can have a really big, massive ship, and then sometimes I'll be playing this and I'll be like, wait, I'm dead. How the fuck did that happen? Because obviously I've got this massive amount of shielding. So don't feel like the hit detection is all there. But don't let that take any element of fun away from this game. Because that is seriously what it is. This is just an absolute barrel of fun. Yeah, as I said, it's just a barrel of fun. This game is just... I'm hoping you can see this with regards to the fact that the bullets, they're definitely 8-bit bullets, you know, the throwbacks to your defenders, your R-types. I'm not saying the gameplay is within that same style in terms of seriousness, because R-Type to me is a serious game. Games like Gradius and games of those high quality nature. No. We're not in that sort of realm. But this game is definitely a throwback. This is a love letter to the games that have gone before. This is just sheer fun with an absolutely delightful twist. And again, I hope the gameplay that you're seeing here just gives that a bit of justice, because there is variety within, as you can see, the projectiles from both enemies and yourself, how they connect together once you've shot down enemy planes and they become your own. And then this whole element of when you press button 2 and you can shrink your ship becomes, for the hardcore gamer, becomes a game of tactics. So there's so many layers within this game. And I'm only talking about the campaign. And as you saw, I selected the rookie stage. Now, to those who have played games in the early 90s, there was a lot of games where you got a feeling. You couldn't describe what was going on within the game, but games gave you that feeling of, I will come back to this. This feels great. But you can never put your finger on it. You can never quite describe what's going on. And I feel that the makers of this game replicated that. I feel that what they were going for was, this is a game where you can just feel good playing it. And you haven't got to have a reason for it. So, and there's going to be another part that explains this. So, as we then soon go into the arcade part, I want you just to take notice of the screen in front of you. So as you can see, there's my score in the top right hand corner. There's my planes that's left as well. But the arcade has a slightly different display, and I can only describe it as a feeling, because when you see the gameplay, you're not going to notice much difference. However, it's how you feel when you're playing it that deciphers arcade from the campaign. So let's move on to arcade. Yes, it's our toy plane with me in the driver's seat. I'm still on rookie. Now, as you can notice in the top left hand corner, it gives you how many continues you have left, which I don't believe it does in the campaign mode, and nor should it really. Again, it's much more of the same, but as I said in campaign mode, the difference is a feeling. This arcade mode doesn't feel serious. And I know that sounds daft to say when you're kind of looking at it and you're just looking like, well, no, you're basically playing the same level again with the same enemies and your aim is the same. Yes, I totally understand that. But it isn't until you play this game that you really feel the difference. And that was the same as a lot of games that I played in the early 90s. You know, you would play the same levels in like arcade and campaign mode, but campaign mode was all about unlocking things. Campaign mode was always about getting that next player or the next car or whatever progression it may be, unlocking new tracks and whatever else. But when it came to the arcade, it was just, what's the highest score and can you beat it? And you get that same feeling when you play this game. And I give credit where credit's due. The people who made this game, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were going for. And that's why I say, like I said earlier in my video, the early 90s is, for me, where a lot of games took off. A lot of feeling, a lot of the nostalgia, a lot of where games are coming from now was back in that era. Obviously, you've got your late 80s and your early 80s and your late 80s with those sorts of games from you got your Atari and you got your Amiga. But when the boom, the resurgence came, you got your PS1s, your PS2s, your N64s, and everything else like that. This is where this love letter comes in. You've got your 8-bit here, you've got your twist on it, you've got your fun factor, you've got your seriousness, and it's all there in just a little ball, and that's fantastic. It really is. So that's basically the game in a nutshell. So while you're seeing the rest of the footage I've got for the arcade mode, allow me to try and summarise everything I've been babbling on about and possibly making your ears bleed from the tone of my voice. So, the negative of this game is that the start screen, for a start, you get no demo, so you get no inclination to continue with this game. It looks really basic. Yeah, I understand that it looks completely basic. However, the positives are, it is cheap. Okay, I can't get over how cheap it was to have this complete. So cheap. You get so much nostalgia out of this game. As I said before, the first bullet that came out is a retro style bullet. So you get that straight off the bat. I absolutely love the new element that they put to this, as you're seeing on the screen now, the whole Velcro effect. And as I said before, unfortunately that does come with its negative in terms of the fact that I don't think the hit detection is quite there. So hopefully you guys are looking at this and going, do you know what, this does look like an interesting game. Now, there is something else I want to add towards the end of this video. Now, we live in an age where so many games are going through HD remixes, HD upgrades. It's HD that, HD this. There's very little in the way of original ideas at the moment. So, the question I've got for this game is, do I think this game deserves a HD remix, re-release, re-whatever? And my answer to that is absolutely not. Why do I think that? The simple reason for it is I think that this game fits the Wii perfectly. It's a game that kind of suits that persona of, the Wii's only got cheap looking games. Because let's be honest, the game does look cheap. However, it is an understated game, and I believe the Wii to be an understated console. For every bit of tat, as is the term that's used, you have got games that go amiss. How many people have ignored the Wii because of the Imagine games, for example. However, because they've judged it on those games, they've missed out on games as like No More Heroes. Do you know what I mean? And Mad World. I mean, those games are phenomenal, and this game in particular, I think, falls into the bracket and describes the Wii really well. So, I'm going to show you a little bit extra in a minute that I haven't shown you yet, and that will be the editor. But there are my thoughts on this game, and that is why I have created Gaming Spotlights for this game, for you to see a game that you may not have heard a lot about. So let's talk about editor mode. As you can see, 127 blocks are required to even enter editor mode on this game. 127 blocks. I was like, are you serious? So I do suggest that if you want to use editor mode in this game, have an SD card for your Wii, or otherwise face losing your game or never entering editor mode. Now, I haven't used editor mode, so what you're going to see in the background is basically all the options you get across 4 campaigns within this editor. So my impression is that this, at one time or other, was a Super Mario Maker type of game, where obviously you made your own levels, you could share it with your friends, share it online, and obviously do battle. And to be honest with you, there's an incredible amount of depth within this. Obviously, I haven't gone into great detail. We're just having a look at the amount of vehicles, the amount of enemies, the different way they fire their projectiles. There's just the sheer amount, as a sheer volume. There is a lot of effort that has gone into this editor mode, and I can appreciate that. To me, it's a shame that obviously it's not still going, or if it is, I don't know about it. Like I said, it's just playing in the background. I'm just trying to give you guys an idea what's there should you choose to pick this game up and play it. And I really do think you guys should. If you don't have it in your Wii collection, I think you should. Now, while you're seeing all of this magic in the background, I know I've already spoke about the positives and negatives of this game. There's just a couple more that I would like to give you while you have a look at this. So I haven't mentioned anything about the music within this game, and that's deliberate, because the music isn't anything special. However, despite it not being anything special, it absolutely fits the game. So there's nothing within the musical part of this game that overpowers the gameplay. You get your warning sirens for when the bosses come in, but other than that, the music just floats along with the gameplay, and they fit hand in glove, no problems. Now, there's a reason why I left this bit to the very last, is because I want you to leave my video thinking about this. Now, I assume when I do my videos that you guys are either in the same boat as myself, or you may be around the same age as myself. I am at a stage in my life where gaming is not on the forefront. I have a family to provide for. I go and work, and this is a hobby, and I will play games if and when I can. This game is fantastic for that part of you that goes, I really want to play a game, but I don't know what to play. This game is one of those games where you can pick it up, play it for 5 minutes, put it down, and then forget about it. This game does not have that factor about it where it demands your time. This game is like, I see you, play me if you want, but don't worry, you can put me down again, but I'll still be here for you. That's what this game is. You can just simply, if you've got 5 minutes and you don't know what to pick this game. And then you don't feel guilty about putting it down, or you're not addicted to the need to complete and go on to the next thing. This game doesn't draw you in like that. The only way this game draws you in is by being that option of, I haven't got much time, but I need a fix. That's what this game brings to the table, and it does it very, very well. So yeah, that's what I want you to go and take away from my video. Not the fact that, this is a game, this is a must-buy game. No. This was just putting a spotlight on a game that's been possibly overlooked. A game that doesn't demand your time. This isn't a Last of Us type of game. This isn't a like a Call of Duty type of game. This is just simply a game where if you've got 5 minutes and you haven't got a clue what you want to play, this is here for you. And that's it. So I want to thank you, everyone who's watching my video right now. Thank you for your time. And for everyone who's been watching anything on my channel before now and in the future, again, I thank you very much. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.